This Englishman has a dream that one day all of his countrymen will bat like an Australian. Well, one particular Australian, Don Bradman.
Don reaches 100, equaling Hobbs' record of 12 Test centuries in the England-Australia series.
We all know how hard it is to score runs, and I begin to wonder, well, here's a man 66% better than anybody else has ever played, and that is a fascination.
He's more than just a batsman, he's something like a tide. More than just one man, he could take on any side. They always came for Bradman.
No one has dominated their sport like Don Bradman. He averaged nearly 100 in Test cricket. The next best average is around 60. And for the last 35 years, Tony Shillinglaw has made it his quest to find out what made the boy from Bowral so superior.
Jack Potter set up the Australian Cricket Academy. He knew Bradman quite well. And so I asked him, I said, well, has a study ever been done about Don Bradman? And he said, no, I couldn't comprehend it, and I still can't comprehend it.
Tony's curiosity stemmed from his own career. He was a successful cricketer playing for Cheshire, but felt like he never fulfilled his potential. Like Bradman, he was self-taught, but when he made the North of England schoolboys as a 15-year-old, his coach tried to change his style. His batting suffered, and he became more of a bowler.
Yeah, the difficult thing is landing it there.
In his 50s and looking back at what went wrong, he decided, with his mates Brian Hale and Dave Reynolds, to unpick Bradman's batting technique.
I'd done 3 years study of technique and all the stuff about Bradman that everyone talks about, and I came down here to the club one Saturday morning by myself, went to the far wall, started hitting the ball against the wall, and I thought, God, I've wasted 3 years here. I luckily remembered Bradman stressing all the time, you've got to play through the ball, don't stab it.
Eventually, through practice and through poring over Bradman's own words, he worked out the key to his success.
Pick it up like an axe.
Part of it was his unique grip and backlift, and what Tony calls the rotary method.
He tells us where the bat goes, it goes right to second slip. So it's moving, and then when the ball comes out of the hand, every shot comes out of the one move. So I feel Bradman only played one shot. He had his stance, the ball is in the delivery stride, and he even started this shot before the ball was bowled. He'd start to move, and then he could play it anywhere because of the fluidity. Where are we? There. Every shot comes out of one. He only did the same thing. That's why he was different from everybody.
For cricket fans, this is an extraordinary sight. An 80-year-old man from the north of England smoking cover drives and pull shots just like the Don. For Tony Shillinglaw, Bradman was very much a product of his environment.
The proof is there that Bradman, the cause of Bradman, is 52 Shepherd Street. Water tank and stand, 8-foot space, golf ball and stump.
This is the place where Don Bradman developed that unique batting technique, out the back of 52 Shepherd Street, Bowral. He lived here between 1911 and 1924 in those formative childhood years, and they've restored the place, including that famous tank stand. The degree of difficulty in this game was immense. You've got your thin stump, your tiny ball, your round surface with edges, so the ball's darting off these edges, and then you've got the surface, which is made out of recycled bricks from a renovation that Don Bradman's father had done from inside. So the surface is undulating, it's got gaps. So playing on a proper cricket wicket after playing on this for so many hours must have seemed like a breeze.
We found out what it did, and it was the golf ball and stump, the ability to hit it and control it. So Bradman learned to control a fast, erratic moving ball better than anybody else has ever done. And all I've discovered is that you can't do it from an orthodox style The only way you can do it is through rotation.
For the last 20, 30 years it's been his life. I think he wakes up, he thinks and talks about Bradman, tries to get people interested in Bradman, involved in Bradman.
Matt Thacker played with Tony in the late 80s and early 90s and is the managing editor of All Out Cricket magazine. He introduced former Kent captain Dave Fulton to some of Tony's theories.
So he came up here, he saw what Tony did, he started practising it. He'd retired by then. And he played a couple of games, he said, for his team, and he got 70 and 80 and really enjoyed it and found it liberating, the rotary method. He thought there was definitely something to it.
And maybe people are beginning to listen to Tony Shillinglaw. Earlier this year, former England coach Andy Flower spoke to him for a cricket coaching series produced by England's cricket board.
So to be so as consistent and as Bradman, the method had to be simple to him.
For Tony, this is a crusade he'll pursue for the rest of his life.
We feel it's our duty that Bradman's method should be made available to cricket generally, and anybody with the aptitude or the will to do it should be able to do it, because it's not an idea that we've had, it's proven. The runs are in the book and Don Bradman put them there.
So Tony, then your dream is to teach a whole lot of young English boys how to bat like Bradman and then take them back to Australia and win the Ashes.
That would be my dying wish.
They always came for Bradman, his fortune used to hide in the park.